Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Since I've changed my channel name, I haven't really said too much about it, but I went from Jolie Lovely to my name, which is LaPortia Tanzel. And I'm sorry if y'all hearing all this noise or whatever, but there's some road construction going on up there and they're cutting grass, but this is some good light, so I was like, I want to film right here. So sorry if there's any noise in the background. Okay, so like I said, I changed my channel name to my name, which is LaPortia Tanzel, and the reason I did that is because, for one, Jolie Lovely wasn't something that was actually personal to me. It was my very first name that I came up with on Instagram, and this was long before I decided I was going to go natural or that I was going to build a brand or anything like that. So Jolie Lovely wasn't really personal to me, so I decided to make it more personal and use my real name, which was a very hard decision to make, because when you put your real name out there for hundreds of thousands or millions potentially of people to know, so you can be found and you can be stalked and all of these different things. But I didn't just change my name, you know, on a whim. I actually had time to sit down and think about this, pray about this, and I know that regardless of whoever can look up me or my name or whatever, I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. So not too much worried about any of that anymore. Now that that is out of the way, I'm going to get to the purpose of this video, which is, I actually said on Instagram a couple of weeks back that I wanted to start doing coffee talks, where I just sit down and talk to y'all with a cup of coffee, or my cup of coffee is about gone. Today, I wanted to talk about something that's really, really personal to me, something that just came to me yesterday. I was sitting down, scrolling through Instagram and whatnot, and a thought just came to me that was, know who you are before the internet tells you who you should be. I was like, wow. That's why I said this is personal to me. I don't know who I am. Like, I know who I am as a child of God. I know who I am as a wife. I know who I am as a mother. But I don't know who I am as LaPortia, just as me, without, you know, being a wife, without being a mother, because my kids are going to get grown and gone one day. They're going to be gone. So my identity can't be tied into my kids, and it also can't be completely tied into my marriage, because one of these days one of us are gonna go. Like, it's just what it is. One of us are gonna go. So I have to know who I am as LaPortia, so that when my kids are grown and gone and start their own families, or, you know, God forbid my husband should go, I need to know who I am so I can continue on through life and not completely stop and break down and just go crazy, pretty much. And for me, the fact that I don't know who I am has really weighed heavily on me for years, because I'm 32 and I don't know who I am. And the main reason for that is because at 18, I met my husband, and at 18, I became pregnant. And I had my son at 19, and by 20, I was married. You know, most people, when they graduate high school and, you know, these years they have to go to college and do all these things, they have time to discover themselves. They have time to go out into the world, figure out what they like, don't like, what they want, what they don't want, who they want to be. I didn't have that shit. I didn't have that, because, like, I stepped straight out of high school into motherhood and wifehood. So I didn't really have a lot of personal time, me time, to learn anything about myself. And it was hard for me to do it that once I became a wife and once I became a mom, because for me personally, once I was given those roles and those titles, I took them serious. I wasn't one of these wives or one of these moms who was like, oh well, I'm still gonna do me, I'm still gonna go out, I'm still gonna, like, that's just never been me. So once I became a wife and once I became a mom, my whole life was dedicated pretty much to my husband and to my kids and doing what I needed to do for them. And a lot of times I neglected myself. Like, even though, you know, there are times where I have free time, even in those times I felt bad for having free time because I felt like I'm somebody's wife. I'm two little people's mom. I'm supposed to be doing for them, to the point where I neglected myself. But now I'm at an age and a stage where I know that it's imperative to know who you are as yourself, for yourself, not for nobody else. Because at the end of the day, you're all you have other than God. But like, everybody on this earth is going to go one day. So you can't really tie your identity into another human being, because we're all going to leave here one day. And if your identity is tied into another human being who has mortality, like, they're gonna leave. Like, if your whole identity is tied into them, then once they leave, then you won't know what to do. Like, you're gonna be lost. And like, that has been really scary for me, because like, the older I get, the more I realize I don't know who I am. And I've spent so much of my life trying to live it how other people have told me I should live, and doing what other people told me I should do, and behaving how other people have told me I should behave, or what's acceptable as a Christian, a wife, and a mom. And even my relationship with God, I feel like, has been decided for me by other people all these years, because like, I was raised in church. Every time the doors was open, we was there. So for as long as I can remember, I've had somebody telling me, this is who God is. This is what God can do. This is what God says about you. But and that's always just been in me. And I've never actually, like, I'm gonna get deep on y'all right here, because I've never really actually just had a really raw and intimate relationship with God. I wouldn't say that everything that I know is regurgitated from somebody else, because, you know, there are times where I'm reading or I'm praying and, you know, things will be revealed to me. But having this just real raw relationship, I've never had. And that's another thing that I'm trying to overcome, because I don't want my relationship with God to be determined by my mama's relationship, my grandmama's relationship, my pastor's relationship, nobody. I want it to be determined by me and God, sitting right here, me talking to him talking to me, and our relationship to be like that. Like, and I don't want my relationship with God to be tossed onto my kids, for my kids to feel like I have to know God how mama knows him. No, it's that defeats the purpose of having a personal relationship with him. You don't have to know him how I know him. You need to know him for you, because mama can't get you into heaven. Mama can't, you know, say, hey God, you know, do this, that, and the third for my child, even though I know they ain't really trying to get to know you or whatever. Like, I don't want them to think that their relationship with God lies on me, because it doesn't. So yeah, there's just like a lot of things that have been going through my mind lately that I know a change has to come. And, you know, having a real raw relationship with God is one of them. And number two is learning who I am for myself. And I oftentimes really wish I had the funds and the availability to just go off and do some solo traveling by myself, so that I can learn myself. Like, no internet, nobody else, you know, influencing me and how I should think, talk, behave, and live. Because that's been my whole life. I've been letting other people influence that for me, and never really making the choices for myself. And one thing, I was watching Red Table Talk when Jada had Will as a guest on there, and they were talking about how Jada, she woke up like 50 something days in a row crying, and it was because she realized she wasn't living the life she wanted. She was living the life Will wanted for her. And that resonated with me like y'all would not believe, because I have felt like that within my own life, my own marriage, that I wasn't living the life that I wanted to live. I was living the life that my husband wanted to live for him and for me. And that really resonated with me. And then they went on to say how, you know, Will had to realize that he couldn't, basically that he realized that he couldn't force what he wanted on Jada. It was Jada's life. And even Jada said she had to learn who she was as Jada. Not as a mom, not as a wife, but as Jada. And that's the point that I'm at. I have to learn who I am for me. Because at the end of the day, LaPortia is all LaPortia has here on this earth. Like, if nobody else talks to me, has my back, whatever, wants to be around me, I'm going to have to be around me. I'm going to have to be with me. So I might as well like who I am, what I stand for, what I'm about, what I want, like my ambitions and my goals and things like that. Because I've actually had somebody tell me, oh, you're not ambitious, you don't have any ambitions or goals. But what they don't realize is the sacrifices a lot of times that mothers make, sometimes necessarily and sometimes unnecessarily. And for me, it was unnecessary to make this, I would say, this sacrifice, because my husband has never been the type that made me stay home. You know, he was cool with it, but he never made me stay home or neglect any of my dreams. If anything, he's the one pushing me towards my dreams, because he knows the things that I want to do and the things that I'm good at. So he's always telling me, you know, like basically being my cheerleader. And even for my YouTube channel, like when I first started YouTube, of course, I didn't have a job. So who bought all my equipment? Who bought my cameras? Who bought my lenses? Who bought my laptop? Who bought my iMac? He did, because he believed in me that much. But I feel like a lot of people don't realize sometimes mothers give up their dreams, their ambitions, to make sure that their household is good, to make sure that their husband is good, to make sure that their children are good. But that's not always necessary. Like, to an extent, I would say that it is. But like in the whole scheme of things, it's not really necessary. And that's something that I did, and I took on for myself. And in a way, I made myself a martyr, because I felt like anytime I felt like my husband or my kids were unappreciative of my sacrifice, I was like, well, I gave up my life for y'all, and I did this for y'all, and I did that for y'all. And no, ma'am, that's a sign of me, in a way, resenting the fact that I did do all that. Because if you're happy with that choice, that you decided to give up certain things for, you know, your marriage, your husband, your family, whatever, if you're happy with it, you won't be bringing it up and throwing it in nobody's face. So that was clue number one to me, that I wasn't really happy with where I was and not knowing who I am or what I wanted for myself and for my own life. For a long time, I was one of those women who would be like, yes, I'm cheerleader number one for a stay-at-home mom and all of that. But now I still cheer on stay-at-home moms, because I am still one. Like, I'm still at home, even though the majority of my work is done at home, you know, through the camera, through the internet, whatever. I have started to make sure that I let other younger women know that it's okay to dream. It's okay to have ambitions outside of your house, outside of your marriage, outside of your children. Because you have to have something that fulfills you personally. Not just you, your whole identity is just, I'm a mom, I'm a wife. You have to have something for yourself. You cannot, I mean, I'm pushing this hard. You cannot have your entire identity wrapped up in just being a wife and just being a mom. Because, I mean, some women can, because, you know, that's their goal. That's their ambition to do that. And that is completely, totally fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But so many women have been told that this is all you can be. That all you can be is a wife. All you can be is a mother. That's all you can do. But that's not the case. God wouldn't give you so many different talents if all he wanted you to do was to be a wife or to be a mom. Because me personally, like with my different talents, like with videography, editing, photography, graphic design, all these different things, they can play a part within my marriage, my children, my family. But there's a bigger scheme of things, because even within these different things, I find joy in doing all of this. So in doing these different things, there's a way for me to reach other people like I'm doing now. There's a way for me to reach other people. And this has absolutely nothing to do with my marriage or my children, because it's just something for me, an outlet for me. Now, there are times when I can get on here and I can share what I've learned throughout being married for 12 years or what I've learned being a mother for 12 years. But like, this whole entire thing isn't just focused on that. And that's really what I'm trying to say, is that we have to have an outlet. We have to have something that is for us, that brings us joy personally, not just depending on our husband or our children to bring us happiness or to fulfill us, because you will always and forever be let down by people. So I don't want to have to want my husband to make me happy, or to my children have to have straight A's for me to be happy. Like, I don't ever want that to be my reality, because the older that I'm getting, the more I'm beginning to learn that my happiness is tied in me. Like nobody else. Somebody could punch me in my face right now and I could choose to be angry or I could choose to walk away. Like the choice is mine. It's never in anybody else's hand. Whatever people do to you is what they do to you. It's going to be their karma. They're going to have to deal with it. They're going to have to deal with God about it. Like how we react is ours. And I've spent so much time reacting to things that in the end I have no control over, and that should never be able to control my emotions the way that it does. But I'm realizing after 32 years that, you know, life is short. Too short to be mad, too short to be holding grudges, too short to just be unhappy. But yeah, like I said, with this whole video, you know, my main thing was to know who you are as a person. And it's so important that we let, you know, us older women, like I'm not old, but you know, there are women younger than me who are getting married or want to get married. And the very first bit of advice I could give them is to know who you are first, who you are in Christ. If you're a Christian and if you're watching my videos, I'm pretty sure you probably are, but know who you are in God. So have a real, raw, personal relationship with Him. And number two, know who you are as a person. Before you attach yourself to another human being, know who you are. So you know what you're bringing to the table, what you're not going to bring to the table, what you want, what you don't want, and things like that. So once you get into this marriage, y'all aren't butting heads because neither one of y'all really know who you are. It's so important to know who you are before you connect with another person and bring more little people into this world, because it causes so much unnecessary dysfunction. I will tell you from personal experience, from as a child and as a wife and a mom. It's so much unnecessary dysfunction when you don't know who you are to God and for yourself. So yeah, that is my main bit of advice for any young lady who is considering marriage, wants to be married, newly married. You should have already done all this, but it's never too late to learn who you are. You just have to be ready to do the work, because it's some work. Like, you're going to find things about yourself that you don't like, because all the time, especially when I get mad, I'm learning different things about myself that I don't like. Like, I have a mouth on me. Like, I'm not, like, people look at me on the internet and things and think, oh, she's so innocent and sweet and nice. But baby, you better ask my husband. I have a mouth on me. I'm not proud of it because, like I said, these are one of the things I'm learning about myself that I don't like. I have a mouth on me. And my husband's not the only one that told me that. Like, even one of his friends said that, because one of his friends crossed me and I gave him a little bit of my mind and my mouthpiece. And you know, me and him, we squashed whatever issues we had, and we're cool now. And he was like, "You girl, your words, like you can break somebody down with your mouth." And I'm not saying all this to say I'm proud of it, but I'm saying, like, when you begin to learn yourself, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be work, because you're gonna learn things about yourself that you don't like. And in no way, shape, or form am I proud to be able to do that to people, to make people feel a certain way with my mouth. I'm not saying that I've learned everything about myself, because obviously I haven't if I'm making this video. And like I said, if I had the financial ability, I would love, like, even during the summertime while my kids are out of school, that way, you know, nobody's having to shuttle them back and forth to school for me. Like, take a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to a month, just to go off by myself, to be by myself, and to be able to just learn me. Because personally, like, a lot of times I don't like to do things by myself, because, like, I'm an introvert. So for as long as I can remember, I've wanted people to talk for me. But I have come to the realization that, baby, you got to talk for yourself. Ain't nobody gonna look out for you the way you can look out for you. Ain't nobody gonna take a stand for you the way you can take a stand for you. So yeah, that's something that I really, really want to do. Or even like with another mom, because I have a couple of women in my life who are in the same boat as me. Like, they became wives and mothers super early, to the point where they were basically children who didn't know who they were as women. So we are all trying to learn ourselves. So I would even do it with another woman. That way we both could be each other's support. But I would really love to just be able to go off and learn myself. So yeah, and on that, where I said when I was scrolling through Instagram and it came to me, it said know who you are before the internet tells you who you should be. Because for me personally, the internet has, I wouldn't say ran my life, but it has really caused a depression. I think that's where my depression and anxiety came in, when I started becoming a heavy user of social media. Because when you look at other people's lives, like, nobody is posting the bad. Some people do, because they're using it as a testimony. They've overcome something, so they want to share it. But 9 times out of 10, you see people going on all these lavish trips, wearing all of this, you know, nice stuff, and like doing all of these things, achieving all of these things, and then it can turn around and make you feel like, you know, you're not doing enough. So you start comparing, whether you know it or not, you're comparing yourself, and you start to feel like, you know, you're not good enough, you're not doing enough, and things like that. Or you will try to emulate what you see, and that's what I did. Because even like as a YouTuber or as an influencer, I would look at other people and be like, okay, this is what works for them, so maybe I need to do that too. But I've learned that what's for you is for you. Your lane is your lane. Their lane is their lane. Stay in your lane. I've just been waiting until I feel the nudge to do something. Waiting until I feel like, okay, this is what you should do. Because the internet will have you all over the place. The internet will have you feeling like you got to be a video vixen and everything else to make it, and you don't. Because like, y'all, I came across this family, this YouTube family last night, and I have never, like, all of the little videos that I went through, I didn't see the mother wear makeup not one time. She wasn't wearing all these expensive brands not one time, and their family was genuinely happy. They had views out this world. Like, they have, I believe, like 800,000 something subscribers, and their videos were getting millions of views. So I know, and they're Christian, so I know they're impacting the right people. I know they're impacting people, period, if they're getting these kind of views. So you don't have to be all sexy and just all of this extra stuff in order to make a difference, or to connect with people who you're supposed to connect with. Like, as long as you are in your lane, you're going to succeed. And that is what I had to learn. I don't want the internet to make me into somebody that I know that I'm not. Because I've spent enough of my life being who other people think I should be, or told me I should be, behaving how other people have told me I should behave. Like, I want to be me. Yeah, I'm just so ready to come out of my shell, to get out of this box people have me in, and to just be me. Not who the internet told me I should be, not who my pastor told me I should be, not who my mom and daddy told me I should be. I'm just ready for this real, raw, personal relationship with God, and to allow Him to guide me. And that's it. That's what I wanted to share. And this turned into just so far 27 minutes I've been filming, so this is gonna be a long coffee talk. So yeah, if you have any topics that you want me to talk about, or anything like that, anything you want to know, like Q&A type thing, leave them down below, or send them to me on Instagram at LaPortia Tanzel, same name, and I will most definitely do this again, because this has been kind of therapeutic, just sitting here talking, and I know I'm going to get some feedback from y'all, and I know there's going to be somebody I help, or somebody who feels the same way, and we can just encourage each other. So yeah, let me know other topics or things you want me to talk about, and I will definitely do that. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next video.